Do you ever have one of those weeks or days where life seems to just stack frustration on top of frustration, one on top of the other? One minute you're moving forward, you're making progress, you're in just a productive state, and then the next you're stuck. Not metaphorically, but literally stuck. My name is Eric Wayne Wade. I meet with men just like you every week to break the silence, unmask, and embrace vulnerability to rise into the men we were created to be. So early this week, first day of the week, I am prepared like I've never been before. I had an opportunity to speak first thing Sunday morning, and I wake up, my mind is fresh, I'm prepared, I'm getting ready. I'm up and moving about an hour before I normally am up and moving on Sunday. I get my son up, I wake up my wife, I get the car loaded. Everything is ready for me to arrive well in enough time, much earlier than anticipated, to be prepared for speaking. So we load up the car, we head down the road, and we get to the end of our road, and we hear a noise. We get out, we look around the car to see if maybe there's a stick that we're dragging, something that's making this noise that's going to keep us from reaching our destination. And sure enough, it was a flat tire. So I was able to carefully get back to the house, transfer everything from the car we were going to take, and move everything into the car that we now have to take, only to realize that we need gas in this vehicle. So we get to the gas station, we load up on gas, and we hit the road. Now, thankfully, we left in enough time originally to where we did arrive on time, and I did not have to miss the speaking engagement. But boy, was it a test. It allowed me to really have an opportunity to think and reflect about how I might have handled the situation a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. And it's vastly different when I think about it. I've really learned to embrace these moments and really not look at it as an attempt for life to stop me, but an invitation to how I show up in situations that I'm prepared for, that I'm just ready to exceed expectation, but then life throws a curveball. It puts a speed bump in my way to where now what I felt was in my control, in my grasp, I'm now at the mercy of this situation, only to acknowledge and realize that I'm not in control like I originally thought. So I now see these moments not as a speed bump or life trying to just stop me dead in my tracks, but as an opportunity, an invitation to show up in these situations better, stronger, more whole. And it's made a huge difference. There were times in the past where this situation would have caused me to be very short-tempered. I would be short to my wife, to my kids, and to everyone else around me, and it would ruin my mindset. Even if we got to our destination on time, my mind would not be in the best place to speak and share to a group of people, and it would have been a long day. I would have likely done some damage that I would have to repair at some point throughout the day. I would have to say some apologies. I would have to set some things right, get things back on course in a positive direction that I had derailed because of losing control of my emotions and not staying grounded, and ultimately not having peace in surrendering the outcome. And so I look at this situation as a lesson learned, not to say that I've arrived, because I'm still a work in progress, but to say, wow, the work that I've been putting in, the inner work, the commitment, the dedication, the self-awareness that I have dove into has really started to manifest itself and reveal that it's working in moments of crisis. Now, a flat tire isn't complete chaos, okay? It's manageable, but it still allowed me to see the growth that I have made from just a year ago. And if I look further back, a lot of progress has been made from the work being put in place, and self-awareness, and surrendering the outcome and letting go. So we make it to the event. I'm able to speak. I'm able to get home. And I have a perfect plan of how I can change the tire in the morning, put the spare on, take it to the tire shop, have it fixed. Everything would be okay in just a short period of time. So the next morning, I get up early. Again, I'm prepared. I'm motivated. Nothing's going to keep me down. And so I get outside and I start to look for a tire tool that is not in the vehicle that I'm needing to get this tire off of. And so I'm looking around. There's only one other car that we have at the house at this point. My wife took my car to work, and so the only other car that is there is my son, who's off in the military, not using this car, has been sitting there in our driveway. And so I'm thinking, he's got a tire tool in his car, and it takes me a while to find the tire tool, but nevertheless I found one. So I'm starting to move forward again. I get back to the vehicle. I start working on getting this tire off, and these lug nuts will not move. They will not budge. I'm trying everything inside of me to get this car fixed, to get this tire fixed, and it is not happening. So obstacle number 2 is making an appearance in an attempt to derail me from my peace, from my calmness, from my sanity. And again, I have an opportunity to breathe, and ask myself, how am I going to show up? How am I going to respond? As a man, I want to fix this. And as a man, when I try to fix something and it's not getting fixed, it's real easy for me to get frustrated, to throw things around, to be short with my words, to throw a tantrum. I have an opportunity to show up as the best possible version of myself in this situation. So as I'm trying to get these lug nuts off with this short tire tool, a neighbor down the road sees my frustration, sees my struggle, and he offers me a better tire tool. And so I have more leverage on this one. I'm able to get a good grip, maybe use some body weight if I need to, without the tire tool slipping off. And again, I'm giving it everything I have, and nothing is budging. I'm thankful for the neighbor. I'm thankful that he was generous enough to offer me some assistance with this tool. Nevertheless, I was not able to get these lug nuts off. So tomorrow, I'll have an opportunity to, again, handle the situation with peace, with calmness. I have a plan C that I'm going to go to, and we're going to give it a shot. I look forward to updating you on how that's going. So I want to challenge you to identify something in your life that periodically or frequently robs you of your peace, that can get you off the rails so much so that it's causing you to act out towards those that you love, that are close to you, or just anybody. We shouldn't be rude with anybody. But is there something that you find yourself just being in a state of frustration? You're throwing your tools around, you're throwing things around, you're being ugly with somebody. Is there something in your life that causes you to get to that point? I want to invite you to identify that, but also the next time it happens, what would it look like if you stopped, you took a deep breath, and you surrender the outcome? You're able to remove yourself from the fix-it role to elevate your awareness of how you're being, how you're feeling, and still being solution-minded. It's an invitation to say, okay, how's this going to play out? What's the worst that can happen? And am I going to allow that to change the best version of myself? Am I going to allow it to keep me from showing up as the best version of myself? When you start to do things like this, when you start to stop, breathe, and let go, you're going to find yourself with so much more clarity. You're going to have so much more peace in your life. What's really cool is when people around you start to notice it. And they start to say, you know what? He's acting different. What's that about? And it's going to strengthen the connection and the relationship you have with those around you. You're going to find yourself being in a situation less often where you normally have to apologize. You normally have to right a wrong that's been made from you lashing out or you being short. So it's not always a flat tire. Let's be honest, a flat tire is a very small situation that can really cause a headache. We all know that life can really, really, really throw situations our way that are serious. But if you can't shift and change how you show up in the middle of a small situation like a flat tire, how can you ever expect to show up differently? How can you ever expect to show up as the best version of yourself in moments of true chaos that can come our way? Small steps, small changes is what leads to a big, big difference in your life. I hope you find this helpful. If so, follow for more. Share this with a man that might need to hear this. We are committed to life change with Mountain Men. We are committed to reaching men and creating a safe place for men that really need to unmask, that really need to dig deep and get vulnerable and connect with other men for healing, to walk in their true purpose, to identify their true purpose. I've seen so many men throughout my life just going a day at a time without any real interaction with anybody, without any true connection with who they truly are on the inside. We are committed to breaking the silence and helping each man that reaches out to get to the core of who they are so they can live and walk in their true purpose. I can help you do that. Subscribe, reach out to me for more. We have a lot coming up, a lot in the works with Mountain Men, and I'm so excited to share that with you guys. Email me, reach out to me. We're on Facebook. You can join us there. Let me know how I can help you. You can connect on any level that you want to. You can dive as deep as you want to with Mountain Men. And so we're here, we're available for you. And I look forward to getting to know you a little bit better. Share with me. Let me know. I'd love to hear in the comments what's something that rattles you. What's something that gets you off the rails of the destination you're trying to get to that usually takes control of your emotions and how you act out. So I'm curious to hear it. And again, I hope being able to stop and breathe and reflect is something that you're able to do in your next invitation to show up as the best version of yourself. I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to meeting with you and getting to know you a little bit better. Talk to you soon.